Namaskar and welcome to StudyIQ. I am your friend Rahul Saigaonker. In my 7 years of teaching and mentoring experience, I have interacted with thousands of students. Through those interactions, I have realized that civil services aspirants, when they begin their preparation, when they begin their UPSC journey, they have certain eternal doubts connected with NCERTs. One of the first doubts is, sir, can I skip reading NCERTs? The answer to this question from my side would always be a no. NCERTs are extremely important part of your preparation. I remember vividly, it was 2017, I was teaching a batch of polity. One of the students, his name was Rishikesh, he came up to me and he said, sir, I absolutely love your teaching. He said, sir, you explain complex things in a very simple way, and I would be relying completely on your classes and your notes for my preparation, and I would be skipping NCERT. You know what my reply was? First of all, I was flattered. I said, thank you. I'm extremely flattered for the first part. But for the second part, you said you're skipping NCERTs. I would strongly advise not to do it. NCERTs are always advisable. Now, that was 2017. And I remember 10 days back, just 10 days back, I was teaching another batch, now online. That was offline class. Now I've turned to online mode. In online mode also, I get the same question. A student asks, sir, can I skip NCERT? I always say no. NCERTs are an integral part and parcel of your UPSC civil services journey. In fact, I would say they are the starting point, they are the beginning of your journey. Then students ask, sir, that topper told I did not read NCERT. Someone said don't read NCERT, directly jump to Lakshmikant or directly read some other book, right? Then I always say, see, every year UPSC, there are 1,000 toppers, 1,000 strategies come up. All right. So everybody has their different strategy. But whenever this question is asked to me, I strongly advise the students that NCERTs are a must for your preparation. They are in fact the beginning point. Many students, they start with some advanced book and then shift to NCERTs, which again would be counterproductive. They would realize that they have wasted 1 or 2 months of their preparation time. So the best way to start your preparation, start your journey of UPSC is through NCERTs. Now, to clear such questions, to clear such doubts, I thought let us have an interaction regarding NCERTs itself. I'll try to explain, I'll try to convince you rather why NCERTs are extremely important. You do know NCERT stands for National Council of Education Research and Training. You say, sir, I already know because I have studied them in my school. And I realized that when I ask students this question also in class, when I ask what is NCERT, they tell. And somehow I realized the question that they ask, sir, can I skip this? I realized that maybe because of the ego that students have. You do know when you start your UPSC civil services journey, you would have a degree with you. Then you are thinking, I am already a degree holder, I'm already a graduate, then why should I read books from school? And once I suggest that you have to read books from 6th standard, then that ego kicks in. Then now, sir, you are telling me to read these school books, why should I read it? I'll try to convince you that makes sense right from 6th standard itself. All right. So I've realized that that might be a part of ego among the aspirants or students, that why should I read such school level books now that I have an engineering degree, now that I have a doctor's degree, MBBS, I have a MBA, BBA, whatever degree you have. But the process starts from here itself. NCERT preparation is very important. Many people have their own strategy, but if you ask me the question, I would highly advise, please read NCERT. All right. Why? Let me try to convince you. The first reason why you should read NCERT is because it lays down a good foundation for you. There are many aspirants who are flustered. Where do I start my preparation? I'll tell you my own story. All right. Now, when I was beginning my journey, in fact, why I was attracted towards this is my brother and my father, they had gone to Bengaluru, and my brother had bought that big book. Okay. I don't even remember, McGraw Hill or some big book which contains all the parts. Okay. It contains everything. It contains your CSAT data, history, geography, everything in this big book. All right. So he was reading it and I started reading it. I got very interested into it. Then I thought, okay, let's enter this field. I thought after I finish my degree, after I finish my graduation, I would enter this domain because this sounds very interesting, or this is very interesting for me. And I met one of my seniors. Okay, he was already preparing, And he guided me. He said, begin your journey with NCERTs. He gave me a very good advice, very valuable advice. Start NCERTs and start reading Hindu newspaper. All right. I started that. That did not make sense initially, but slowly and steadily, once you get into NCERT, once you start reading newspaper, everything falls into that picture. All right. So the first thing is foundation. It's the beginning point. So where do you begin? You start with your NCERTs. If you do not know anything, start from here. And if you want to construct a building, you need a strong foundation. All right. UPSC examination, it is a lengthy examination. You do know that you have to put in, I would say, your lives at least 1.5 years, probably 2 years, right? 1 year for preparation, 1 year for the entire examination cycle. So for that, there has to be some beginning point, and that beginning point has to be NCERT, because it lays down great foundation for you for each and every subject. Now, how would you build this foundation? The first step, even before you pick up an NCERT, is read the UPSC syllabus, then pick up your NCERT. You will start your building, you'll start your foundation. All right, slowly and steadily, brick by brick, chapter by chapter, idea by idea, answer by answer, you would hone your skills and you would be ready for the ultimate battle of UPSC Civil Services examination. So lay down a good strong foundation by picking up NCERTs right at the beginning. All right, that's why I say, see, if there is a child, will a child start running directly? Will you directly jump to, say, Lakshmikant or DD Basu or Datan Sundaram, or read some extraordinary book, and then you think that, oh, this exam is very tough? No, start a process. First you need to crawl, then you need to slowly walk, learn to coordinate, and then you run. The first step here is your NCERT. All right, it builds a very strong foundation. The second reason is, when you see your syllabus, when you see your previous year question papers, you will realize that NCERT is not just a foundation. NCERT is the syllabus. NCERT is the fodder for your questions. If not direct questions, at least reference. Even today, pick out any paper, any prelims paper, I would say at least 70 to 75% questions would come up from NCERTs itself. At least they would have a reference in NCERT. The other part, yes, you have current affairs. You have to be thorough with your newspaper and keep on reading your current affairs. That is for sure. But you look at the references. Sometimes you get direct questions, because where do they ask questions from in history? Right? They have to. History is history. Many history questions, you have direct. There are direct questions. If not a direct question, you will have a reference for sure. For instance, if I talk about polity questions, right? I remember in polity, there was a question connected to liberty, right? What is the meaning of liberty? Is it absence of restraint, or is it some sort of connected to government? I do not remember the options exactly, but the concept of liberty, these ideas, you get it from your polity NCERTs. Right? You read Indian Constitution at work, you read the simple political theory NCERT, you will get all these ideas. You'll be ready for those. I'll give you one example also. This was a question, if I'm not wrong, I think this was a few years back, 2018, 2019 perhaps. Now, this is a 2019 question. Building Kalyan Mandapas was a notable feature in the temple construction in which kingdom? All right. Now, this was a question 11 from whichever series it is. I'll tell you, most of the history question, they would be somewhere in your NCERT only, right? The answer to this can be found out in your themes of Indian history. I think this is 11th standard history. You will find an image also, a Kalyan Mandapa meant to celebrate divine weddings, and this chapter itself is dedicated to the Vijayanagara Empire. Very easy, isn't it? You get the answer here itself. I remember so many terms, and this was my practice before prelims also. What I used to do was, when I read, say, ancient history or medieval history, I used to pick out those words which are say typical words. I remember one of the words I had noted down, I think Aragatha, right? Aragatha was one of the words I had noted down, and I had written the meaning also. And believe me, same question appeared in prelims. I was so happy. In fact, before the prelims examination, I had a list of these terms itself. I had a list of, say, 100, 200 terms from ancient and medieval history, right? Again, history is something that there are some things that you need to remember, and history itself is very volatile, so you need revision just before the examination. I had that habit, so I got the word also right. I was so happy when I checked it right. When I came back and I saw yes, I was right. So you get direct questions, direct reference from your for your prelims, for your MCQs. It's a source for your preliminary preparation. And if you do not clear prelims, how would you write means? It's the first filtration stage. For that, you need your NCERTs. There are so many questions from science, technology, history, right? Even from your economics, you'll find so many questions. Yes, current affairs based question also appear. But to answer that current affairs based question, you need knowledge of NCERT. All right. Now, in your current affairs, you do know that the RBI, or you talk about any other central bank, they are increasing the rates, they are increasing the repo rate, they are increasing other rates. You need to know about those rates. Where do you get the data for that? You get it from your NCERT itself. Understand what is the meaning of repo rate, what is the meaning of reverse repo rate, what is the meaning of interest rate, right? So you get that idea from NCERT only. You have to connect your NCERT knowledge itself with current affairs. That's why I told you foundation plus direct reference. Example here. The third reason, a very important reason, is it is a key to begin your mains preparation. And when I tell this to students, they are completely flustered. They tell, sir, what is this? You are telling me that by reading NCERTs, I can begin my mains preparation. But how? All right. See, students come and ask, sir, when do I begin answer writing? And there is a big fear among students to write the answer only. I have felt that when I tell them, write as soon as possible. When do you need to write an answer? When you think that you have enough fodder to write, say, 150 to 250 words on a particular topic with respect to particular question, then you start writing. Do not copy paste. Read it, then try to write in your own words. That's the way to start answer writing. And I've seen, no matter how strongly I give this advice to aspirants, to students, they do not write the answers. I don't know why. I have deciphered a reason, or I can say the only explanation for that is fear. Fear. They fear that they would be judged. They fear that they would write bad answers. They fear that they would write wrong answers. People would laugh on them, or the evaluator would laugh, right? If you have that kind of thinking, you would never ever write an answer. First of all, get out of that fear. And believe me, nobody writes a good answer on day one. Writing answer itself, it takes a lot of effort to come out of that inertia. Start writing, write a bad answer. I would say write a bad answer only, but write. Because from that bad answer only, slowly and steadily, you would reach towards a very good answer, a quality answer. All right. So day one, nobody expects you to write extraordinary answer also. Talk about any toppers. You get any toppers answer scripts also. You will see the same thing. You will see what they have written, because those were some of the initial answers that they have written. Slowly and steadily, you will see the transformation in thought process, transformation in the answer writing also. So when do you start your answer writing? When you think you have enough fodder about one particular topic. Say you're reading polity NCERT. If you think you have enough fodder about one particular topic, start writing your answer. And then there is one more question, sir. This does not make sense. You are telling me key to begin your mains preparation is in the NCERT only. But how do I do it? The question that I see in my mains paper, sir, it is extraordinary. For that, I need a lot of interconnection. Probably I need a lot of database. I agree. You need a lot of database for that. But I am telling you to begin. So where do you begin? You read your NCERT, integrate it into yourself, and then look at the exercise. Let me give you an example how to begin. These are some of the questions. I think this is from Indian Constitution at Work, from the Judiciary chapter, if I'm not wrong, right? In what way can public interest litigation help the poor? Right now you're thinking, sir, what is this public interest litigation? If you read the NCERT, you will know what this topic is. Although the words are not given, frame a question for yourself, say probably 150 words only, and try to write this. Don't you think you have 150 words to write this answer after reading the same NCERT? It is available there. And believe me, these are, even if you say, sir, these are not mains quality questions, I would not strongly disagree, but I would say attempt this. You'll understand, right? I would say these are These are very optimum quality questions that are asked in the NCERT itself. Take these questions up. Do you think that judicial activism can lead to conflict between judiciary and executive? It is an excellent question to begin with. And why they are asking? Say probably write it in 250 words. Start writing, because now you have read the NCERT. You have read in NCERT what is the meaning of legislature, what is the meaning of executive, what is the judiciary, and what is the meaning of judicial activism also. So why don't you write this? Begin. Take any subject. Take any subject. I can give you some excellent questions which are there in the exercise itself. All right. Now, this is another one from, I think, economy. Now read these questions, then you'll understand that these are very decent quality questions. All right. For beginning, these are very excellent. And many students, when I tell them these questions also, they say, sir, these are also very tough. And I say the answers to these are already in the NCERT. That's why this is the beginning phase. Begin. The question here, see, the impact of globalization has not been uniform. Explain this statement. In fact, I would say this is a typical UPSC kind of a question itself, which is found in the NCERT only. The impact of globalization has not been uniform. Think, because the inputs of that are already provided in that NCERT. The meaning of liberalization, privatization, globalization, what is MNC, right? What are the labor rules? What are labor codes? The basic idea is already provided there. Take up basic question only. Start. Write. Take a pen, take a paper and write. No matter how bad, but write. All right. That's the way to begin. I'll give you one more example. Now this is a question, I think, from science and technology. All right. This is connected to environment. The term, this is a simple question. What is biological magnification? Now this is a phenomena. Probably right now, if you don't know, you read the NCERT, you know this concept. Then it asks you, will the levels of this magnification be different at different levels of ecosystem? This is asking your understanding of biological magnification. An excellent question to begin your answer writing. Now you might argue that this question will not appear in UPSC. I will say, okay, it might not appear, but it is a best way to begin without overwhelming yourself, without losing that confidence. Starting with these basic kind of questions, not like the school level. Please, again, remember, there is a difference in answer writing at your university level, at the college level, university level. There, the questions would be something like this: what is biological magnification, and describe that thing. All right. But why I'm telling you to begin with that itself? Because you need to get acquainted with your answer writing process. How do I think? How do I frame my answer? I have to introduce my answer. I have to write a body. I have to write the conclusion. And the best part is, how do I write? The best language is given in NCERT. It is given in very lucid way, very crisp way. Pinpointed information is provided. Using that pinpointed information, using similar kind of language, try to answer. You will improve your answer writing skills within a few months. Believe me. All right. So I hope the third point, it's clear right now, right? Key to begin your mains preparation. I would say it is the key. It is the starting point for mains answer writing. When to begin? Read NCERT. If you think you can recall, if you think that you have got enough understanding, probably say after one reading or probably after second reading, to attempt this. All right. Now, many people then ask a question, sir, how exactly, how many times should I read it, or which NCERT? We'll talk about that. But the fourth reason why NCERTs are important is to plan your journey. All right. This is connected to the answer writing itself again. Now, see, you have some pit stops. The first stop is begin your preparation. You start your preparation, right? You finish your college, you start your preparation. Then you have your prelims point. Then you have mains point. Then you have interview point, right? So you plan your journey ahead. So you start your NCERTs, then you will realize, how do I make my schedule? How do I create my schedule? For creating that schedule, you need to have basic knowledge about the syllabus and basic subjects, and those are NCERTs. Then you'll realize, okay, when I take up Lakshmikant or probably DD Basu, which is needed for say mains preparation, how much time is needed? I can create a proper schedule of that. If you feel that I have gained enough expertise now writing basic answers, should I go for some sort of answer writing series? Should I take a mains test series? Should I take a prelims test series? You will plan your UPSC journey. And many people, they have multiple journeys, right? I have seen this craze, especially for many aspirants from UP, right? UP and Bihar, where there is a lot of craze about a government job, right? So yes, government jobs are very much important, but please remember, do not connect your life with that. I always say this, these two aspirants, right? Do not connect your life with that. They are important. You have to put in your effort, you have to put in your hard work. I would say put in your smart work. And if you're preparing for multiple exams, it's very good, fine. UPSC path is one way. If you are preparing for something else, say EPFO, you can say prepare your journey for that as well. NCERT is a template for that also. If you are preparing for APFO, EPFO, whatever it is, right? Whatever other exam, your state PSC, for everything it becomes a base. I would say it's not just a plan for your UPSC journey, it's plan for your future career journey, for your services journey, whichever service you join, the central service, state service, or in the service. That is the importance of NCERT. All right. Now, coming back to the previous question, I told you read, then write, then you ask the question, sir, which NCERT? Now, this is another question which I have seen students like to take shortcuts, and I always tell there are no shortcuts in life. There are no shortcuts in life. All right. There are only smart cuts in life. So they ask, sir, which NCERT? Now, my answer would be start your preparation from 6th standard NCERTs, and till your 10th standard, I would say read everything. 6th standard, 10th standard, no compromise, nothing. If you are into your 11th standard and 12th standard NCERTs, then you might probably just focus on biology, because the core physics and biology, basically when I'm telling about 11th and 12th, from science and technology, you may skip physics and chemistry. Physics and chemistry can be skipped. For biology, it's fine. But all others are required for 11th, 12th. That means your economics, your polity, your history, all these things are needed. Okay. So all in all, if you ask, sir, which NCERTs, there are about 50 odd NCERTs. And even if you filter them out, I would say around 35 to 40 are needed for sure. All right. They are needed for sure. Now, this is one question students ask, sir, can I skip any NCERT? That's why I told you science and technology, 11th, 12th, probably physics and chemistry, they can be skipped. All right. Right. Again, NCERTs which are connected to your core subjects, you have polity, you have geography, you have economy, you have history, and you have science and technology plus your environment. All right. So you need these. The next question comes, sir, how do I approach them? I told you, say, if you are not able to write, if you read NCERT and if you're not able to write the answer first time, revise it. Prepare some short notes in it. All right, prepare some short notes, and then probably after a second revision, maybe write an answer. If you're confident enough in the first time itself, start. It's up to your judgment. It depends, or it varies from student to student, aspirant to aspirant. But how do I approach this? How do I approach this NCERTs? Do I have to read page by page? All right, this is a question, because everywhere an aspirant is looking for these shortcuts. Don't look for shortcuts. All right, they ask, sir, do I have to read each and every page? Some of the NCERTs are 250 pages, sir. It is very boring. Then I always say, see, approaching NCERTs is by preparing a schedule for NCERTs first. First, prepare your NCERT schedule itself, and I would say it takes hardly 1.5 months, max 2 months to finish off the NCERT. And this is a template. Say for your polity, you have, say, approximately 9 NCERTs. This is your 6th standard NCERT. This is your 7th standard NCERT. This is your 8th standard NCERT. Now this 6, 7, and 8, they would be finished off very easily, because they are the basic ones. 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, they would be very easy to finish off, because there are so many exercises in it, and many a times those characters comes, so chunnu, munnu, buju, paheli, they come up with so many activities for you. You don't need to do that activity. What you need is you simply read and understand that. You don't need to get into those activities. They tell you to add copper sulfate into ferrous sulfate, this, that, nothing is needed. right? They tell you to conduct an experiment, they tell you to go and read about these things. There is no need to experiment or do those activities. All right, read those for sure to get insights. If it has some valuable information, read those, but these things would be over very, very quickly. All right, then the core NCERTs come. For instance, say 9th NCERT democratic politics 1, 10th NCERT democratic politics 2, political theory very important from GS perspective as well as political science perspective. You will get basic idea of political theory and Indian constitution at work. So these four NCERTs, I would say, they would form core of your polity preparation. They would become core of your polity preparation, and these would take a little more time because you have to be very careful while reading them. Try to underline, use different highlighters, try to create some notes for yourself, so that when you read these NCERTs the second time would be rather very quickly, and then you can just filter out whatever information is needed for you from your notes and from the second reading. So how do you approach it? You need to understand the core NCERTs that are needed. The 6, 7, 8, I would say 6th and 7th, they would be over in few hours. Believe me, when I first took up 6th standard NCERT, I was like starting, and within say 2 hours it's already over. In a day, in probably 2 hours, you'll finish off one NCERT. So 6th standard, 1 or 2 days, you'll finish off all the NCERT. All right, so you won't take too much of time. So divide your time, create a schedule, create an optimum schedule, because you do not want to get overwhelmed, right? Consistency is more important than that power play concept in UPSC. I've seen with many aspirants, what they do is they start as a power play. They say, I would put in 16 hours every day. You'll wear out. What you need is a consistent effort. Say probably 8 hours every day consistent effort. That is also more than enough, but it has to be consistent. You don't need to put 16 hours, 18 hours every day. It's physically impossible. So go for more consistency, create a schedule such that you plan properly. And then this 11th, 12th and 11th, the polity NCERTs, they talk about contemporary world politics and politics of post-independent India. These are specifically mains related topics. Again, read them carefully to make notes of them. If you are focusing only on prelims initially, probably stick with this and revise this. Then for mains, specifically create notes out of this, but prepare in a very integrated way. Clear? So how do you approach them? Approach in a selective manner which helps you as well. Because that eternal question comes, sir, can I skip any NCERT? Right? For your satisfaction, if you think you have enough knowledge about this 6th, just read it quickly, glance it, then you will understand. Because we already know the basic politics. We know that there is legislature, there is judiciary, there is executive. We know that there is a parliament, and there is a Vidhan Sabha at your own state. Probably there is a Vidhan Parishad also, or it may not be present. You'll understand why it is not present. All these details would be present in these books. All right, so get that knowledge, prepare basic notes, and be ready with this. That is the foundation for you. I hope I have answered many of your questions. Which NCERTs? I don't want to pick and choose, because I told you there are 50 odd NCERTs. From a strictest sense, I would say read everything. If you have ample time, if you're preparing, if you're in your college right now, in your final, in your third year, if you want to prepare, start with NCERTs, read all NCERTs. If you're, say, preparing for 2024-25, you can be a little selective on the judgment itself. And if you say, sir, I want, say, 2024-2025, I can give you a selective list also. You can reach out to me if you have any queries with respect to NCERT or anything connected to UPSC civil service preparation. Reach out to me on this particular ID at Rahul Sai 222. You can directly message me on IG. I do respond on Saturdays and Sundays. I hope I have answered many of your queries connected to NCERTs. I am repeating again, should you skip NCERTs? The answer is no. Should you skip some NCERTs? Again, the answer is no, depending on your time. NCERTs are the building blocks, the foundation of your UPSC civil services journey. All right. All the very best. If you have any queries, do reach out to me. Thank you for watching this. Jai Hind.